This is my first sketchbook tour I've ever filmed with this setup, so it feels a little weird, but I hope that you enjoy it anyways. It's finally time for the tour of my 16th sketchbook. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're doing well. I'm very excited to be showing you my 16th sketchbook. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I hope that you're excited about it. And before anybody else asks, because I know this is going to be a very popular comment, this is the ELO sketchbook. Now you know. It's no mystery. I actually did a full review video about this sketchbook, so I'll leave that linked in the iCard if you're interested in. But if you don't want to watch that video and you want like just a really short summary, the gist is, I think it's overhyped and overpriced, but I mean, I used it anyway. So who's the real sucker? Got my coffee, got my sketchbook, got my plants, and let's get started. I also made a video kind of painting the cover of this, so I'll also leave that linked if you want, or maybe not. I don't know how many videos I'm going to have linked in the iCard. The side got really messed up, but it's fine. I actually decorated this part too. Got my social media. I've got contact information in case I've ever lost it. I've never lost a sketchbook before, like I've never brought it somewhere and then forgot to bring it back, but I'm really worried that I will. I started this sketchbook March 9th and I finished this July 13th, so very recently. The first few pages of the sketchbook are actually in that ELO sketchbook review video, so if you've watched that video, you've already seen all of these. I just wanted to test out how a bunch of different materials work in this sketchbook, because all of the other videos that I've seen only tested like 1 or 2 different supplies, so I wanted to test everything that I could think of testing. And then on this page, I kind of just scribbled some poses. These were all from Pinterest, as I wrote down here. And then here are some goals. I wanted to work on character interactions, backgrounds, developing underused characters, body angles and dynamic poses, and film more sketching videos, which definitely didn't happen, but I think I did the other ones. Normally I'll have this page like in here, but obviously because of the video that I filmed, that didn't really work out that way. If you're new here, I draw a lot of my OCs, so that character was my original character. This is an original character. These are original characters. I really like the way that this one turned out. This is acrylic painting, gouache painting, and a watercolor painting. Here, actually, this is the thumbnails for the video. If I can open this, that'd be wonderful. Wait, how do I? Wait. I can do it, I promise. Wait. Aha! So yeah, I just wanted to thumbnail these and plan out what drawings are going to be done and what, just so I can film the video a little bit easier. And then this is from a little calendar I have, and this one is my birthday, and so I taped this in here because I thought it was funny. And then this is just, I forgot about that. This is just like a thumbnail page and stuff. More stuff from that video. Nothing much to say about it. I've already shown these on my channel. And same here. I really like this sketch and this sketch. This one I hate the face of. Another one of my characters, Aurora. Pretty much all the drawings I made in that video were of my original characters. I still really like this spread too. Here I just threw some acrylic paint because the Sharpie that I used right here, it blended one through the other side. I used Poscas to do all of this stuff. And then these were thumbnails for that 6 fan art challenge thing. I drew one of them and then I never finished them because I wanted to make a video about it, and I also wanted to do live streams of me drawing those, but as we all know, my computer is not capable of live streaming, but I'm getting a new computer very, very, very soon, so maybe I'll actually get these done. But here's a sneak peek of the characters that will be in here. These are characters for my soon-to-be webcomic. Every single month I'll talk about a different character that I have, and I'm currently talking about these characters. This is the character of this month. Her name is Noe. But if you're interested in hearing about them, I'd highly recommend sticking around, because I'm very excited to be working on this comic, and it's not yet released, but soon. Then there's characters you aren't even supposed to know about, but it's fine. Here's Robin. You've probably remembered that I made a video kind of redesigning her because she is a very old character that I used to draw a lot. And here I was trying to design different outfits for her. I decided to put her in the same universe as this character, Arietta. And I've actually been working on a story for them, which I'll talk about a little bit later, because towards the end of the sketchbook I really start trying to hammer those things down. Here we have Toru Honda from Fruits Basket. I absolutely adore that show. I think this was when season 2 was just starting. And then here's one of my OC's birthdays. Now all of my characters have birthdays, but she's one of them that does. And then this was another character of mine, Andy, who got a redesign, which we'll talk about in, I think, literally the next few pages. It was also their birthday, so I drew them. And this was actually the picture that really made me go like, yeah, I want to redesign them. I talked about in the video I made about that, where I felt like I just couldn't redesign them because they were like my main OC and everyone loves them, but I got over that. And then a little doodle of Mabel. I love that face. I think it's adorable. This was kind of a messy page, but I actually really liked the way that it looked. I drew some Noe. I love drawing her. Here I was actually thumbnailing some ideas for my desk that you're watching me film on. The tabletop was actually originally black, but I wanted to paint it white because I thought that that would be better for filming, but I also didn't like how the pure white looked, so I wanted to add some little details, and in the end I ended up going with this one. And then these were more thumbnail stuff. This was for the video where I lost the footage, and so I edited the audio to find bits that are funny out of context. Honestly, these thumbnails are literally nothing special, but I thought it would be fun to keep it in here. And then here's just me testing out some pens that I randomly found when I was cleaning. Here I was trying to work on designing another OC of mine. Her name is Stevie, and I've been meaning to work on her design for a while because she's reminding me way too much of my other character, Rory, and I didn't like that, but I didn't want to change Rory's design, so Stevie is getting a change. This isn't what she looks like, but I have more of a finalized version of her later, and then more Robin and Arietta. I adore drawing them. They're very fun to draw. And here's the start of me redesigning Andy. I was very, nervous to redesign them, and so the changes I would made, they're very subtle and they don't look too different here, but then later on they start changing more and more. So I was just trying to come up with different ideas for their sweater. I wanted to keep the core of their character the same, but it just kind of changed the way that they look, which I think I accomplished. Here's some more sketches of me trying to figure out their hair. I originally wanted to have hair more like this, where it was pushed out of the face, but I wanted to have this for the final thing I decided. And then here I was testing out some color schemes. Very similar, because again, I wanted to keep the core elements the same, but I was just playing around with different hues and saturations. In the end, this is the one that looks most close to the final thing, but their hair is kind of an in-between of these. Here are the Copic markers that I used to color Andy, if anyone is interested. Yeah, this is pretty much their finalized design. It's not super different, but I like their design a lot more, and I've been drawing them a lot more. Also, this is when I decided to change the hair, so that's why this is here. And here I wanted to draw them interacting with the different characters in their universe, just for funsies, because I enjoy drawing them again. They're still not dating, clearly. I mean, why would anyone think they're in love? I also really like this one of Mabel and Andy. It's cute. More Andy! I was obsessed with drawing them for a little bit. It kind of reminded me of when I first made them. Why are you crying all the time? Don't talk back to me! It kind of reminds me of when I first made them, and I'll just draw them non-stop. This I did with Posca, and then I put acrylic here because I used markers on the other side. Kind of just drawing them and getting used to their new design. This is a thumbnail for the actual drawing I made in their redesigned video. And then here's this. I don't know if I can rotate it because the dimensions won't probably let me, but I decided to draw on my sketchbook sideways because I was like, hey, there are no rules, so fuck it. So I did that. As you know, I love designing characters for, or maybe not, maybe you're new here, but I like drawing my characters in different outfits, so I took this as an opportunity to design her a new outfit, and I really like it. Another kind of thumbnail page. Here I was thumbnailing the cover for my sketchbook, which I actually really like this sketch a lot better than the cover, but I mean, what can you do? I taped a piece of crafting paper here, just because, again, the marker bleed through, and then I drew Noe again, and then another character from my webcomic you're not supposed to know about. Here I drew one of the fake plants I have. All my plants are fake. I'm barely capable of keeping myself alive, so I should not be held responsible for any other life forms, but I did that. And then here's Guzma from Pokemon. This I did with watercolor. Here's your boy, and then some rough sketches of Plumeria. Here's a sketch to announce Help Me Art Dad 3. If you don't know what that is, if you're new here, hello, I'm Art Dad, I guess. Basically, I'll have people submit an OC of theirs to this hashtag if they need help designing it, and then I'll just give character design tips, and it's really fun. A lot of people want me to put those videos out more often, which I am planning on doing a fourth one, but it's not going to be for a while because those videos are just really hard to film. Those videos take a long time to film, they take a long time to edit, it takes a lot of preparation, so they can't come out as often as I would like. I am planning on continuing it, but the fourth one isn't going to come out for a while, so just be patient with me. And then here we have Lincoln and Beatrix, more characters of mine, and a lot of you guys got upset with me because I don't draw them enough, but you guys really seem to like them, and that makes me happy. Plus, Anima fan art in my 2020. It's more likely than you think. Shout out to anyone who even knows what this is. I was going to color these and then I just didn't because I got lazy. But I reread the first volume and then I have the next two. So I have the first three. I haven't read those ones yet, but here more Robin and Arietta. Again, kind of just messing around with different outfits of theirs. This page isn't anything fancy. It's kind of just scribbly with, I think these are actually like Target brand water-based markers, so like knockoff Crayolas, and I just like sketching with them. They're really fun to work with. Here I was thumbnailing a picture for Delaney's video and then kind of drawing the outfits on the other page. Again, I was gonna color this one, but I got lazy, so I just threw some water-based markers over it. They have become some of my favorite characters to draw. I really enjoy them. This is a shit page. Well, first off, here's just a messy thumbnail page. This was the drawings I did that were in watercolor. They are on watercolor panels, and they were in my video kind of talking about social media and how that affects your view of art. I really enjoy doing those types of videos, and I want to do stuff like that more often. Here are these things because I bought a pad of crafting paper, and then these were here, so I cut them out and put them here because these ones were all like cut off because of the way that they were arranged. And then here I was going to design a character with my sister, and they would be like in the same universe and stuff, but I did this and never did anything else with it. That character you're not supposed to know about, and Noe. Again, I got lazy. This was going to be a much more refined thing. I liked this drawing a lot better before I put the watercolor down because, again, I was lazy. So it's very rough. I didn't put a lot of time and effort into it, so the colors are really shitty, but what are you gonna do? I like the way the actual background itself turned out. I just wish I didn't color it. Stevie! This is more of what she looks like. Her orange hair is back. She used to have bright orange hair, and then I changed it to more of like an orangey brown. And now it's orange again. I like this outfit, but I'm going to change her shorts to like a navy green because this is reminding me too much of Robin. And then this is more of her main outfit. This actually didn't Sharpie. Hilariously scary here on YouTube. She does a lot of stuff in Sharpie, and so I was like, let me try that. And I don't know how she does that. This was really hard for me to do. I don't know, I'm not used to it, but I like it. It's just not my best work, I don't think. This was originally the page I used for my hand tutorial, but I just threw some stuff on it. I drew my dog saying she doesn't have any brain cells because I love her, but she's truly an idiot. Here's a drawing of Freed from Fairy Tail. I adore Fairy Tail. I adore this man. Love him. And then I did this with Prismacolor color pencils because I got a new set. And then here OCs again for my webcomic. I don't know why people ship them. I mean, I'll take full credit for Andy and Luca, like, you got me there. But I don't understand how this ended up being a thing. And then Noe, another character, just a scribble. Here's more Fairy Tail fan art. I drew with the girls, and then the guys are on the next page. I just really wanted to draw more Fairy Tail fan art because I love that franchise. I have a lot to say about it, but I love it. And then I just wanted to draw it more, so I drew this. I really like the way Urza came out here, and then I also like Wendy. And these are just a lot of the girl characters that I like. And then there's a matching page right here of the different guy characters. Gray is actually my favorite character, but I'm horrible at drawing him, so that's why you can barely see him. And then Freed because I just draw him way too much, let's be honest. Again, acrylic paint because I used Copics on the other side. Here I was thumbnailing my milestone pictures because I like to do those every now and again when we hit a milestone. For which milestones I draw, it really depends on how quickly we hit them. But here I hit 80,000 subscribers on YouTube, so thank you so much. It's crazy. I just can't thank you guys enough. And then I drew Andy Moore. I believe this is in Posca pen. And then I was thumbnailing the Noe drawing, which you guys will see next week. Here's the halfway spread. I always like to do something special for the halfway mark. So as you saw in the beginning, it's like an intro page saying what number sketchbook it is, and then at the end I like to have a drawing to close off the sketchbook. But then I also like to do this like midway point because it can feel really exhausting completing a sketchbook, and it's very like, if it can feel like you're spending way too much time on it. I just realized I smoothed this. It's totally fine. But I just like to do this as a reminder of like, yes, I'm making progress. These are more OCs, Jeremy, Remy, and Aurora. Here I painted it black because, again, the marker bleed through, and then I used a thin white Posca pen to do some sketches of Delaney. Here is Hilariously Scary's OC and my OC. This is Desponia, and then Delaney. I believe it was in one of her video premieres where I hopped in, and then people started talking about how they should interact, and they would create chaos. And so I did this. It might be a mistake. It might not be a mistake. You would let me know about that. Here is some She-Ra fan art. I actually drew this little doodle here long before I drew this. This was around the time season 5 came out, and then I drew this in a video. I love them. And I just decided to use this as like a sort of thumbnail, and so I just zoomed it in a little bit more. Originally, Adora's face was supposed to be at more of this angle right here, but I couldn't get it to look right, and so I did that. But I had a lot of fun drawing this. I really like the way that that turned out. Desponia again. I actually drew this. Again, I drew it long before I drew this one. I was a lot less strict of myself with completing it page after page, and I allowed myself to jump around a little bit more. I always like to have my pages, like my spreads, look kind of cohesive, but sometimes I just don't feel like drawing the thing that will make it look cohesive, and so I've been letting myself bounce around. So like if I didn't want to draw him, because in my mind it makes sense that they're next to each other, I would allow myself to bounce around and be like, okay, I'll draw over here, or whatever. Eventually it gets to a point where I sit down and force myself to complete the spreads, because then I'm bouncing around too much. But I've definitely been a lot less strict with myself with that. Another OC, Cairo, drew him, because I barely draw him, but I love that boy. Here's Andy again. I want to take some of Andy's older outfits and apply it to their new design, so kind of just redesign them a little bit. Here I kind of wasn't doing that. I kind of just drew whatever. And then here's a page from a book I put here and then scribbled on top of it because I thought it looked nice. And again, the marker bleed through. Here I wanted to practice. I wanted to practice drawing faces from a little bit of a different angle. So I would use yellow to sketch them out really roughly, and then I would use orange on top of the ones that I like, and then I would use pink in the background of the ones that I really liked. I feel like angles are always one of those things where I feel like I need to practice them, but then also at the same time I feel like I never improve on them. So, I don't know. Here was another video. This was me redrawing old art part 2. And I asked you guys if you wanted me to make a video of me redesigning this character, like I did with Robin, and a lot of you guys seemed really interested in it. And I actually want, after she's redesigned, to put her in the same universe as Robin and Arietta. I have some really fun ideas for their story, so I'm excited about it. Here are some references I found on Pinterest. I drew a bathroom and this stuff. And then these right here are all objects in my room. These are my plants and my camera, one of my lights. But these two pictures were from Pinterest. And then just threw some glue over it because why not? Oh! Here we are. I'm sorry, Leo. I know I scared you. So for Arietta and Robin's story, I brought Micah and Jax back. If you know who these characters are, you've been here a while, so you've been here a while, so thanks for that. But yeah, I wanted to kind of use their story as an opportunity to bring in old characters that I don't really use often, and so Micah and Jax are now main characters in their story. I am working on redesigning them a little bit just to make them fit within their universe, but I wanted to keep a lot of core elements of their original character the same. I gave Micah a beard. I spelled this kind of weird, I think. How do you spell Micah? I don't even know. Micah's design came a lot easier, but I'm struggling with Jax. I finally have a direction, but I don't like this. I really like this part up here. So like, I like the bust shot, but designing the rest of their outfit was a little difficult, but I'm finally getting in a direction. So I mentioned how I talk about an OC at the end of every single month, and I talk about the stories that they're in and stuff, and it's really fun. And the characters that I'm working on now for that series are the webcomic characters, and I said that those are going to be the final OC videos, and then I'm going to take a break, and then I'm going to do the 2.0 version. And as of now, that is true. So next week is going to be an OC video, and then after that there are 2 more OCs for me to talk about. And so the series will be ending in September, like the end of September, and I don't know how much of their story and how much of their characters are going to be figured out by then. So if I have enough to share, and I have enough like ironed out details, then I will actually share them, and then these will be the final characters of the series. But if not, then they will be the first characters that I talk about in the 2.0 series of talking about my characters. And I'm really excited for that. Here I had to take my dog to get groomed. The walk was like, it wasn't like far, but it was far enough to where it didn't make sense for me to walk back home while waiting for my dog to be finished grooming because it wouldn't have taken that long. And so I drew this. I did the rough sketch of it while I was there, and then I came home and I finished it later. I took a picture of it. Also, I feel like it's important to say I wasn't there for long. I was socially distanced and also wore a mask and washed up when I got home. Don't worry. Stay safe. Stay safe, don't die. And then this bird just walked up to me. So that was cool. I like the way this turned out. I think it's nice. Drew a car, which I never do. Here I wanted to draw lips because I have some characters where I imagine them having larger lips, but I like never draw lips. So here I was practicing drawing lips. These are all from Pinterest, and then here I was trying to figure out how to stylize them a little bit more. I don't think I'm going to be drawing lips on every single character, but I think if there is a character where I picture them with larger lips, then I would start drawing lips on them. But if they don't have larger lips, I'm just going to leave it as just the line that I always do. But I really like how these came out. I think Mabel and Cairo turned out the best on this page, but I also really like this one of Rory. Fun times. Well, first off, here was that thing that I see going around on TikTok on how to make a glitch effect, so I did that. By the way, a lot of people have been finding my TikTok and following it, which I don't know why. I don't post anything there, but I have like over 100 followers, so why? I used Posca for that and then just did a bunch of stuff. And then here's Rupert. If you don't know Rupert, he is the scientist who built Bugbot and genetically modified a red shark. And I want to draw him more. I think he's a really fun character, and I really like his design, especially like his necktie that's like a beaker or whatever it's called. They don't have a story, but they have like a universe, and I just really want to draw them more, and I want to make a story for them. I just don't know what that story is yet. Here was the page for my shoe tutorial, which I scribbled on. This I just used Crayola crayons, nothing fancy, and then here I got a tube of Payne's Gray paint, and then I was mixing white in it just to mess around with it because I've never used Payne's Gray before, but one tip that I've heard is replace black with Payne's Gray, so I've been doing that and I've been really enjoying it. This is a fun thing I did. So I adore Paramore, and if you don't know, the lead singer for Paramore, Hayley Williams, she released a solo album, and it's very, 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 very good. I would highly recommend it. It's called Petals. It's called Petals for Armor, and I just adore that album. I think it's incredible, and so I wanted to kind of visualize each song. So that's what I did. So I would just listen to the song on repeat as I was making each thing, and then just kind of paint what I saw, I guess. So here's Simmer, here's Leave It Alone, and then over here, there's Cinnamon, Creepin'. I really like this one. Sudden Desire. I don't really like how this one came out, but I mean, it's whatever. It's a shame because I love that song, but whatever. And then I love how this one came out. Love that song, love this thing. It's great. My Friend and Over Yet. Again, I love this one. It's another one of my favorites. Roses, Lotus, Violet, Iris. This one I had a hard time doing because I had a vision in my head for what it was, but for some reason I just couldn't put it on paper. And then Why We Ever. Oh no, they're all sticking. How did this happen? Help! let me get this sorted out. That's always what we love to see with your art. Pure Love and Taken. I really like these ones. I think they're both pretty cool. Sugar on the Rim, Watch Me While I Bloom. This is another one where I had a really hard time putting to paper what I saw with it. I don't know why that one was so hard, but an attempt was made. I really like the way this one came out. I think it's more on the simple end when it compares to the other ones. I think this one took me the least amount of time to make, but I still really like it. And lastly, Crystal Clear. I really like this one. I don't think like it's the best one out of all of them, but I do think this one is like closest to how, like this is pretty much exactly what I see in my head when I think of that song, and that's why I really like it. And then for this one, I thought about, just to make it more cohesive, I thought about doing the Glass Animals remix of Dead Horse. I don't normally like remixes, but I love that one. But then I got lazy, and then I didn't. So instead I was drawing Mabel, just drawing her in different outfits and stuff. I really like how these sketches came out. Then here, this page was actually the last page I drew in, because I kind of wanted to sit down and really take my time with these. And so I finished the rest of the sketchbook and then came back and did that. And then I didn't know exactly what I was going to do with these pages. And so this one was the last one I ended up making in this sketchbook. Here's a drawing of Arietta covering this other drawing of Arietta that I didn't like, again with a Prismacolor colored pencils. I'm working on different outfits for them. Drawing the gang. I really like this one of Robin down here. Another character! She's also going to be in the story. Don't let this fool you, she's the villain. Or at least one of the villains. She's not the main villain, but she is like an antagonist in that story. I named her Tabitha, nicknamed Tabby, because she's a cat. Shout out if you remember her. Again, I wanted to redesign her a little bit, but I have a lot of fun drawing her. These are all references from the Instagram account Reference for Drawing. I don't follow them, but I found them on the Explore page and thought these drawings were fun. And I drew like the poses and stuff, and then I drew my characters on different ones. I love this one of Rory and this one of Hadia. I need to draw her more. She's a lovely gal. And then here, I wanted to draw each story I have, like all the characters in that story, and then summarize them. So let's go through this, shall we? Here's Andy's universe. Almost everyone is queer. Accurate. Here's Aspen's universe, the shitty Walking Dead. Again, accurate. Here's Jeremy's universe, an edgy take on religion. And then we have my webcomic, I'm Not a Furry. Here we have Arietta's world, basically just magical girls. And then my only wholesome universe. So that's the gist of all my stories, if you were wondering. A little insight of their story. Again, they are basically just magical girls. They are witches though, so because I'm different. There's also going to be Belladonna and then Tabby, again, like I mentioned. They're going to be in that story, they're the villains. And then here's this, like, I call this kind of like a recap page. So here I make my goals list and then I check off the ones that I did. The only one I didn't accomplish was the more sketching videos. Kind of a goal I didn't write in here because it was a goal more throughout 2020 is that I wanted to go out and sketch more, which we all know how that is going. So that didn't end up happening, but I did my best. And then I drew them. This is more of the direction I want to go in with Jax's design. Again, I'm really struggling with their design, but I have a direction. And here we go. It's the final page. At the end of my sketchbook, I always like to draw the same character that I drew in the beginning, so I started it with Delaney and I ended it with Delaney, and then I drew the other characters back here. I don't have anything in this pocket other than this. This is just a scrap piece of paper I would put behind pages if I needed to like use Copics or I was going all the way to the edge of the page. And then this is just the thing that came wrapped around the sketchbook. This is a postcard from when I bought a chest binder, a tag that came on one of my chest binders, and then, oh, I forget, wait. And then here's a Grookey saying trans right. There we go. There's that sketchbook. Let's do something chaotic to this because that somehow became a tradition in all of my sketchbook tours. This is not working out as well as I had hoped it would. Damn it! Why aren't you helping? Wow, I swept that onto here. So normally this is the part of the video where I give you a sneak peek of my next sketchbook, but I actually haven't started it yet, which is very strange. I normally start my next sketchbooks the same time I finish my current sketchbook or my previously current sketchbook, just because I get really excited, but you'll find out soon enough why I haven't done that, but you'll see it. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you enjoyed this sketchbook, give it a thumbs up. Feel free to let me know what you thought of it, what your favorite drawings were, all that good stuff. Let's just have some chats in the comments section. And if you are new here, hello, I am Oliver. If you like the drawings in here, consider subscribing. I draw a lot of my original characters. I keep talking about them and I keep talking about how I talk about my stories. I do lots of talking. If those are things that you're interested in, consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. And you can also follow me on social media. Those will be on screen now and linked in the description box below. I would suggest following me on Instagram if you can, because that is where I post my art. That is where I'm just generally more active, so do that if possible. But if not, don't even worry about it. And there will also be some videos on screen now and linked in the iCard for you to check out. Again, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye!